Okay, so this is just how we categorised our networks, basically into just 3 categories. We thought that there's us in the middle, then there's people that we more likely to give to, people who we receive from, and people who are on an even kind of keel as us, so people who are doing on the same journey to encourage. That was just our basic concept.
On this one, I wrote out who we receive, give and are equal to. So here you can see that we give to friends, people that are up and coming in the same business, younger students, or even if we do any like charity work or if we help out with anybody. Also people that are equal, people here, and the students, friends, colleagues, past and present, and also who we get most of the bulk that we receive from, so we've got the casting sites, agents, directors and choreographers, contacts book, Facebook, teachers, family and random people that you meet every day.
Okay, so this is just a bit more detail about the people who we receive from, so when we would be receiving from them and possibly where. And we thought that when we receive from people in our networks, it's dependent on our situation at the time. So we thought teachers really only communicate with them when you're learning or you're out of work, and you do that through the internet or phones. Then agents, we thought only when you're seeking employment. If you've got employment, you wouldn't really need communication from your agent as much. Then a contacts book is always a good tool to have. We thought that casting sites are really only used when you're seeking employment, unless you don't like what you're in at the moment. And we thought that the meeting people in the industry would always be useful, family always useful, Facebook's good for advertising and getting dance jobs from people who've advertised sort of casting jobs. Choreographers are useful when you're in employment. You have to make networks with them and make the most of it when you're actually working with them. And then people like dance school owners when you're learning or seeking for employment. And we also discussed that the frequency of when you communicate with people doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be a good communication, because a crucial communication might happen if you talk to someone once, if that person is high up, whereas if you talk to someone all the time, they might not necessarily be able to change something for you. So frequency doesn't actually have that much of a relationship with crucial communication.
This is a brief kind of look at the people who we give to, and we thought that giving to other people is relevant all the time, but as we've discussed, networks are quite seasonal, so as we advance in our chosen careers, it will change how we give to people. We'll have more to give, possibly, as we gain more knowledge and experience. And actually, the people who we are giving to, for example, you might train someone, prep someone for an audition, then when they've gone through dance school, they will actually be somebody who's equal to you and that you can look to, and they move into a different part of your network.
We also talked about briefly about when and where we can give to our equals. By the use of technology, as in BlackBerries and iPhone, you can really contact people anywhere and at any time. Past and present colleagues could be through meeting them at auditions or anything. Well, you can talk about castings that you've been to or that you've heard of, and that's a very good way of talking with friends from college, by just talking, creating social events, even just talking about things that you've experienced whilst you're looking for work or have been in and out of work. The same goes for old dancing teachers that you've been in contact with. For friends that are in the industry, by watching performances, meeting with directors and things like that, meeting casting directors through performances or projects they've been in.
And this is just the very last one, is another little diagram that we drew with us again in the middle, and we also put it into another 3 kind of categories of people who are in your close network, so your friends, your colleagues who are doing the same things you have regular contact with, the people who are in the next little network, so the websites, your agent, casting directors, people who who are less frequently in contact with, but still quite important. And then people on that outer network, so that you wouldn't really see very often, people you might meet and say, oh, actually, I know somebody in that business, and you just say, can I get their email, or can I possibly meet them? But they're actually just on a purely professional level. And that's it.